When I switched to Pro mileage, in my case, I got 46-47% of savings for that car.
Pro mileage was the only one that gave me 5,000 extra value to cover, yet still cheaper, a lot less.
Turn up!
Hi guys, so today I am reviewing yet another variant of the Volvo XC40. So previously on our channels we have reviewed the XC40 T5, absolute winner in our books. Love that SUV. I think it's probably one, in my opinion, perhaps the best compact premium SUV in the market. Then more recently we drove the 1.5 liter plug-in hybrid. That one I am honestly not so enthused by, but this one here, as you can see from the front grille, this is the full electric model. So let's check it out. Now, of course, the basic design of the XC40 that has already been so popular is maintained. So proportions, it's the same as before. If you look at it purely from the side view, this is hardly any different from the regular XC40. It is only when you come to the front and you see this blanked out grille, then you know, okay, we are looking at an EV here. All right, so we come to the back. Now we look at the badging. So there's the recharge badge here, which is also present in the plug-in hybrid model. Okay, and this one, it says here recharge twin. So even from the back, okay, there's also very little that differentiates this stylistically from the T5 or the plug-in hybrid, which I believe is by it's a conscious choice on Volvo's part, because Volvo is transitioning towards being a full electric company. So as a result, right, their design has to be in such a way that, you know, it's not a big deal. They don't have to announce that the car that you are driving, the Volvo that you are driving, they don't have to put special badges to say that it's an electric vehicle, because in the future, by default, all Volvos will be electric anyways. Okay, so there's nothing much new to show you guys in terms of the exterior design. So we will run through quickly. Okay, first up, we'll open up at the side here. When you're charging, you can't pull it out. There's a mechanism inside there that locks the charger so that you don't simply pull it out. Now, normally, most electric or PHEVs that I've encountered, the way to release the lock is that you press the unlock button on the remove, all right, to unlock the charger. But even here, that's not how it works, because the way to unlock the charger is to press this button and you pull it out. All right, so I'm going to put it back into charge. So there's yellow light there to stand by, and on here you can see there's also a light here that shows that current is going through, and when it turns green, it's charging. Okay, so we'll open up the boot. Now there's also another charging cable here. This is for you to connect to the fast chargers. All right, all hidden under the compartment. And what I like, and this is present since the first XC40, is this can be raised. This floorboard here can be raised to form a partition. So it means that you can raise this up and you can have things put at the back to hold them in place. Okay, so there's a notch here to hold this floorboard so that it doesn't slip. Right, or otherwise there's also a small compartment in here, all right, as well as here, and also hooks here to hang things if you want. There are two boot lights, one here and one here, and I like that they are angled inside, so when you open the boot in a dark space, the light does not glare your eyes. Okay, oh, and one more thing I just noticed, and this was already there before. So as you lift this up, if you put this, set this as a partition, you see this label here. This is purpose designed so that you can hang your bags, your shopping bags or whatever, not like that. All right, very, very cool. Okay, so I shall close this, and based on the diagram here, you also have hands-free closing as well. Hi, Rachel. Okay, so coming open inside the interior, this is pretty much familiar from the existing XC40. Nothing new to report here. Of course, there's the common. This has been since the days of the T5. There's comments that the rear bench is short, so lacking in thigh support. That we also believe is by design from Volvo, because Volvo made a conscious decision that the XC40 appeals to young adults and, you know, potentially people that will be starting a family, you know, of young kids. So by the time when they reach an age of, you know, having to regularly ferry 4 adults, these people would have graduated to XC60s or XC90s. So here in the XC40, the rear bench is designed memang to accommodate, to prioritize for, you know, younger children, okay, smaller body size, whose legs are shorter, and therefore their legs wouldn't be hanging like that. Okay, so Isofix mounts here with a hinge lid. That's nice. Okay, simple armrest with molded cup holders, 2 aircon vents at the back with USB-C ports. Nice. Okay, so now before I bring you into the cabin, we want to pop the hood. Okay, because this one has no engine. Okay, you have this, you open it up, there's a small space here for you to put your front cargo. Now you may ask, since there's no engine, why is this space so small? Well, the simple answer is that, you see, even though there's no engine up front, right, this front space still needs to accommodate the brake booster. It still needs to accommodate the steering system, and it still needs to accommodate the wiper fluids. So as a result, the available storage space, you're only left with this. Okay, so now we come to the let's check out the front cabin. Now at a glance, this is very familiar from the existing XC40s, but I think this all black interior, it doesn't do the design justice. Okay, so we have a Harman Kardon sound system here. I like this this pattern here, this metallic pattern here. Very, very nice. Looks even better on the screen right now, actually. So a full-length door bin. This was right from the initial deployment of the XC40. It allows you to drop a whole laptop inside here. And I remember when Volvo first introduced the XC40, there was a lot of mention to say that this car was built with the needs of lady drivers in mind. And here you can see you can unlock the cable from the screen right here. Because the car is charging, there are some things I cannot demonstrate to you right now, so I will get down and unplug the charger. So right here on the center screen, you control the climate, and of course this generation of Volvos is now on Android, so the interface is slightly different from the familiar Volvo sensors. Okay, they still try to maintain that similar, that same philosophy, that same UI philosophy, but it is obviously a different system. So here you can access your range assistant to give you projected range, energy consumption. They also judge your driving style, climate control, all these things. Okay, climate control is fully activated within using the screen, so you use the screen to adjust temperature, to adjust fan speed. Now if you're concerned about taking your eyes off the road, okay, taking your eyes off the road to navigate, don't worry about it. You can use voice command. So let's say, for example, you can press the voice command button and instruct the car fan speed 2, fan speed 3, temperature 22 degrees, 24 degrees, 20, or whatever that tickles your fancy. So I tried using that earlier just now when I was driving. It worked great, but now somehow it's not connecting. So let's say right now I tried how it works is temperature 22 degrees. Okay, so it kept the car captures your.
I can't do that. In the meantime,
you
can get directions, make calls, and play radio.
So as you can see, the car captures what I said well enough, but for some reason the system is not online, and when the system is not online, then no choice lah, you have to go back to the screen. Then the next question is, how do you start your car, right? There is start, but there's no start button here. The familiar twist knob is not here, and when you look here, it says here brake and shift to start. So when you shift the gear lever, the car immediately starts, and you can go. All right, so this is the cluster. All right, a slightly different looking cluster compared to existing Volvos. So the speedometer is entirely on this side. Then this side here shows you the power and charge, and this is the center screen. Steering wheel also familiar design. So here also we have the 360-degree camera, and now if you notice right here, for example, the screen resolution is fantastic, but Volvo's image stitching, quite honestly, still isn't as crisp compared to Mercedes or BMW, and this is an area where I believe further improvements are still possible. And how do you turn the car off? Just put into P and open the door. That's it. Previously, right, to recap, previously my experience with the XC40 is decidedly mixed. As a package, the XC40 is fantastic, well styled, nice premium interior, complete safety features. If you compare the XC40 to the X1, for example, or the Mercedes GLA, you can see that in the X1 and the GLA, Mercedes and BMW, they skim down on certain things to remind you that, hey, you need to work harder to afford that X3 or that GLC. But here in the XC40, you are reminded that not because you cannot afford an XC60, but you made a conscious choice to go for something smaller. All right, and hence whatever features that Volvo gives, I mean, in terms of safety, right, whatever you get in the XC40, in the XC60, XC90, you get here. And Volvo is not shy. For example, when they launched the XC90 first, and later when the XC60 come out, they have no problems loading in extra stuff in the XC60 that the XC90 does not yet get. Same here in the XC40. So when you drive this around, at no point ever are you made to feel inferior because you didn't buy higher up the range. Now, in terms of driving dynamics, I have nothing but praise for the XC40 T5, the 2-liter petrol model. Fantastic, great engine, great handling with all-wheel drive traction, very natural feeling, and to me it drives better than the X1, let alone the GLA. To me, it is the best premium compact SUV done. Now, the plug-in hybrid, that did not quite impress me as much. Mainly because the brakes were poorly calibrated. It's like, the transition between regenerative braking and the 4-disc brakes are very abrupt. So when you step on the brakes, the initial travel, and as you realize that, you need a bit more braking force, and you step on it harder, the transition is very abrupt. It's as if that's right, the regen braking system, all right, starts the work, and then when it comes time to transition to the 4-disc brakes, the regen braking system says, now you take it back, and the 4-disc brakes just suddenly grab you in. interestingly enough, here in the EV, no such thing. Of course, in an EV, there will be regen braking, but the transition is smooth, is well managed. It feels like here, the engineers put in the effort to calibrate the braking response, whereas they didn't in the plug-in hybrid. Now, of course, the one thing about EVs is the ridiculous ease which they accelerate. All right, so right now I am on the Sungai Besi Highway. Okay, the going up to a bend lah, and now right here is good. The ride is comfortable, pliant enough. Handling is also sure-footed. Now, because Volvo mounts the batteries right at the floor pan, the stability of this car is fantastic, and when you turn a corner, the car feels stable. But because this thing weighs 2 tons, when you want to stop the car, you do feel that the brakes are kind of straining a little to haul all 2 tons of its weight down. But performance-wise, you can get around on a very brisk pace, entirely with a 1/4 to 1/3 throttle application. Okay, be very, very sparing in your usage of full throttle, because this thing, if you gun it, the rate which it pulls speed is ridiculous. There really is that punch in your gut kind of feeling. Not quite the level of the Porsche Taycan, I assure you, but it's enough for you to leap forward at a barely believable rate, and there is zero lag in the response. The dynamic basics that Volvo got right in the XC40 from day one remains evident here. So yeah, the cars, the XC40's handling remains convincing. It remains sure-footed. Okay, so now the next thing we want to talk about is the of course, the ADAS package, which is Volvo's area of specialty. Now, yesterday I had the when I was driving this car home in peak hour traffic was horrendous. Okay, and I tried out the traffic jam queue assist function. My verdict is that if compared that with the HRV hybrid that I experienced earlier, the Volvo system is noticeably more conservative in leaving room for other cars. But that being said, I observed there still seems to be a certain blind spot when cars enter your lane, all right, at a very close angle, you know, from the front. So there were a couple of times where I actually had to actively intervene by braking during the traffic jam, but the frequency of intervention is less than that in the HRV hybrid. And guys, I cannot stress this enough. Now that with autopilot traffic jam queue assists now no longer being exclusive to cars like Volvo and BMW, and gradually progressing down to HRVs, and who is to say that in 2 years time we won't have such functions in a Pro Duo Myvi, right? Be very, very careful when you cut into someone else's lane in a traffic jam or in a queue, because if the driver that you are targeting to cut in set his car to autopilot, and Songam at that time was on the phone checking Facebook, texting his girlfriend, playing TikTok, there is a good chance that you would have gotten yourself into an unnecessary fender bender. Yeah, so that is something you will need to take note of in the future. But coming to the conclusion of this review. My initial assessment that the XC40 is the best premium compact SUV, it remains unchanged. The EV to me adds a whole new layer of appeal to the XC40. In fact, my 2 days with this car, I have nothing but praise for it, and I find that it is such an utterly pleasant day-to-day companion. All right, so of course the T5 model remains a highly enjoyable car to drive. Yeah, so if you were to ask me, the XC40, it's a great product. All right, it's a great product, but if you were to choose, you either go full electric or you go full petrol. The only weak link in the XC40 range really is the plug-in hybrid model that just feels, you know, poorly calibrated in its overall driving experience. Because otherwise, if you go for the T5, you get a nice, beautiful, engaging driving experience. You go for the electric vehicle here, you get a similarly pleasant, dynamically competent, and utterly effortless day-to-day driver. So that concludes my assessment of the XC40 and the XC40 electric vehicle in particular. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you like what you have seen, please leave a like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Of course, subscribe to the channel of the entire Horizon team as well, Bobby, Thomas, Anna, and drop us a line on follow us on Facebook, Instagram, all our social media accounts. Okay, and if you need your cars clean up, come by, visit us at EvoClub Car Wash. We are now partnered with Sonex Malaysia, so we've got a whole new range of products, new range of services. Now we are able to do polishing, we are able to do waxing, coating as well. So new range of services. Drop by, check us out, and yeah, so until my next video, take care guys, stay safe, I'll see you soon.